It's Transformers96 here with another posing review. This time we have a 1 in 6 scale pose from the Sideshow Collectibles clone as well as General Grievous. So yeah, just recently I did repose my General Grievous and I had him in a stance where he had, his 4 arms all holding lightsabers or the electric staff from the Magna Guard, and I had the clone on the floor, kind of dead with Grievous standing on him. I really liked that shot a lot. But then I decided just recently to change it up a bit. So I decided to see what I could do to make it more of a dynamic fight. And I came up with the idea to have General Grievous choking the clone, and as he's holding him up in the air, stabbing him with his arms there. I did go back and forth on how to arrange General Grievous's arms. At one point I did try it with his arms that were attached, and I did decide to do his arms separated. I think that he looks a little cooler that way, especially since he has the skinnier arm holding up the clone. It makes General Grievous look so much more powerful that his one skinny arm can hold a clone off the ground and everything. So there you go. Let me give you a quick look at it. As you can see, I do not have the clone on the ground. It's one thing that I definitely wanted to do, and originally I thought I was going to have to use one of those dynamic stands from Hot Toys that has the pole that's bendable, but luckily his weight was able to be supported, and he was able to get high enough off the ground just with the Hot Toys Jatari base, which also has a clear pole, which is so much better. I mean, it turned out so much better than I expected, which is nice. So obviously I'm using the Hot Toys Jatari base for the clone, and then for General Grievous I'm using the Hot Toys diecast Whiplash Mark II base, just because it's a nice kind of environment scene, and then it doesn't have a clip that holds him. It just has a crotch grabber, which is the best thing that you could ask for a Grievous figure, because he really doesn't have a waist, so it's hard to get the clip on, and the base that he comes with doesn't really work in my opinion. I think it's kind of useless, but this base works perfect because it supports him from any pose that you do without any hassle at all. So, also I wanted to talk about his arm here. I did decide to have his arm where both of his hands were holding the one lightsaber, but at the same time splitting apart. So basically in my mind, after I came up with this, I think it looks awesome that way. I decided to think of it as, that he's killing this clone and a Jedi or more clones are running up after Grievous. So as he's killed him, stabbing him, he decides to split his arms up, and one of them still continues to hold the lightsaber while the other one grabs, another lightsaber or chokes another clone maybe, who knows, but just kind of it gives the pose, more movement, like his arms are midway splitting apart, because in the movie, when his arms split apart, his hands stay together, they're the last thing to split, so I think that it just looks perfect that way. I'm very happy with that, and the posability on this Grievous is wonderful. Give you a close-up shot of it, as you can see here, choking him, looking him, staring him down, looking pretty intense there. And yeah, so there you go. Give you a wide shot. Yeah, you can see the wall in my lights, but I think that it's worth seeing the wide shot. I love this, and I've got his arms split out. Originally, I was just going to have him choke him and not stab him, but I thought that the stabbing was too good, especially since there is a gap in between his armor, so I could fit the lightsaber like it is actually starting to go into him. So there you go, that's my posing review of General Grievous versus a clone. Thanks so much, and this is also how I'm displaying him too, so you will see him this way in my collection video. Thanks so much for watching.